Rebecca Loos broke her silence over the Netflix documentary made by her alleged ex-lover David Beckham about his footballing career and private life, and revealed her anger at his failure to take responsibility. The four-part series, Beckham, has racked up more than 12.5 million views since its release on October 4, in which the 48-year-old touched upon claims that he had been unfaithful, without going into specifics. Back in 2004, the then 26-year-old Rebecca went public with her claims of their lurid affair, which she said had taken place after Beckham had signed with Real Madrid, leaving wife Victoria Beckham and their young sons Brooklyn and Romeo back home in England. In her first interview since the Netflix documentary dropped, Rebecca, now living quietly in Norway as a yoga instructor with a husband and 2 children, hit back at the Beckham series made by David's own production company, which never mentioned her name or the word affair. In fact, the closest the multi-millionaire couple got to addressing the alleged fling was when Victoria said his move to Spain was the hardest period because it felt like the world was against us. Asked if she resented David during that time of their marriage, she admitted, "If I'm being totally honest, yes I did. It was the most unhappy I have ever been in my entire life." And dad of 4 David told the camera, "There was some horrible stories which were difficult to deal with. It was the first time that me and Victoria had been put under that kind of pressure in our marriage." He went on, "I don't know how we got through it in all honesty. Victoria is everything to me. To see her hurt was incredibly difficult, but we're fighters and at that time we needed to fight for each other, we needed to fight for our family and what we had was worth fighting for. But ultimately it's our private life." In her first interview on October 22, Rebecca let slip a number of bombshells. The blame game of the softball question lobbed at David about his move to Madrid and the subsequent horrible stories he said he and Victoria had to deal with, Rebecca accused David of putting all the blame on her. "It's all poor me," she told the Mail on Sunday. "He needs to take responsibility. He can say whatever he likes of course and I understand he has an image to preserve, but he is portraying himself as the victim and he's making me look like a liar, like I've made up these stories. He is indirectly suggesting that I'm the one who has made Victoria suffer. He's the one that's caused the suffering. He could have simply said that this was a tough time and I don't want to talk about it." She also accused him of dragging up the scandal without getting in touch with her first to warn her. Flirty lunches. Rebecca was working for global management company SFX at the time of the alleged fling, and had previously bumped into Bex in the office a while before they both moved to Madrid. She claims he walked past me, looked me up and down, and gave me a cheeky grin as she was standing in reception with a friend, to which she rolled her eyes and said, "Another footballer." Before long, the multilingual Rebecca was assigned to David and his family when he signed to Real Madrid, and she was tasked with making him feel welcome in a city 800 miles away from his family. Before Victoria and their sons moved out of the UK, the pair were getting closer, bonding over Spanish food and wine while dodging the paparazzi. "Once when he was under siege in his hotel I smuggled him out in the boot of my car because I wanted to show him the real Madrid," Rebecca revealed. The pair went boozing in the upmarket Chueca district and shared the best croquetas in the city at a tapas place. Before long, she said, Bex had developed a soft spot for her and would secretly try to hold her hand as he drove them through the capital city. When they would eat lunch with his entourage, he would play footsie under the table by pressing his toes against hers. And the flirtatiousness continued even when his wife moved out to Spain, Rebecca said. She was quickly roped in to help the whole family find their feet, taking on tasks like house hunting for the expanding brood, sorting out schools for the boys and even responding to late-night requests for Big Macs to be brought to Beck's hotel. Beckham's 6-word text that sparked affair Loos quickly became indispensable to the family, and was even asked by Victoria's personal assistant to deal directly with the Spice Girl for their house search, as the married couple couldn't agree on what they wanted. But David still got in touch with Rebecca himself, she claimed. "When I said I'd been given instructions not talk to him about things, he said, 'We don't have to tell anyone.'" Their first sexual liaison. It wasn't long before their professional relationship, laced with more than a frisson of flirtation, turned sexual, Rebecca claimed. He made her feel special, and one night during their time in Madrid, she claims he seduced her. "I remember turning to him and saying, 'You're so lucky, you can have whoever you want.' And he looked me in the eyes and said, 'I've never done this before.' I thought, wow. I mean, I foolishly fell for his lies." She says they slept together at least 4 times before the affair came to an end. Rebecca's mum suspected affair. Rebecca was still living at home with her parents, Landert and Elizabeth Loos, and the family welcomed the Beckham brood to their 7-bedroomed mansion soon after the PA and the footballer embarked on their affair. Her mum, who even corrected Brooklyn's grammar when he asked for one of them apples, had suspicions her daughter and David were more than friends, and told her to be careful. "When I went home the day after sleeping with him for the first time, Mummy asked, 'Where have you been? Where did you sleep?' And I just shrugged my shoulders. I didn't say anything. But she knew. She just looked at me and said, 'Be careful.'" No regrets over what happened nearly 20 years on from that torrid time. Rebecca said she is very sorry for what she did and how she handled it, including trusting the late convicted sexually abusive PR man Max Clifford with selling her story. But, despite her tremendous guilt over the damage done to David and Victoria's marriage, she said without the affair she would never have met her own husband Sven Kristjarskaya. Sven had been a doctor on the Dutch version of the reality TV show 71 Degrees North, which she signed up for in 2008. "Things happen for a reason. And now I have a wonderful life with my incredible husband and children," she added. The Mirror has approached David Beckham's representatives for a comment.